let's take a look at the next page we have to develop. So this was the market data. Let's do business data next. Okay, so we had a lot of graphs here. Subscription cost by product, subscription profit, manufacturing costs. Okay. So in the spirit of being lazy, let's grab one of these graphs and start our next page with it. And rather than using this business data label here, I'm going to go back to our market data page. I'm going to grab this label. I'm going to copy it using, I'm using Apple C. You could do it any number of ways, edit, copy. And without touching on this page, I'm just going to hit edit, paste. And what that does is it makes sure that this thing goes in the same exact spot it was in on the other page. So if I were to have, so you all have it here, so don't follow me. So if I copy this, and then I click here, and then I paste, it goes where I last clicked. That can be good sometimes. That can be bad other times. There's also, right-click, paste, which gets it by where you've right-clicked. But again, when we lay out our interfaces, we want as much as possible for things to be where they were on the pages before and after them. And the easiest way to assure that is to copy it without clicking anywhere, edit, paste, and now it's exactly where it used to be. So let's go ahead and let's rename this, instead of market data, business data. All right. Now I've already forgotten what graph I was going to make. Okay, subscription costs by product. We got to fit 3 graphs here according to our layout. So let's get that set first. So I'm just going to paste this graph 3 times. All right, we got to start stealing space here. And so that I can get my graphs to all be the same height, I'm just going to put them horizontally. That way the gridding system will tell me that I've got everything to be the same. Alrighty, so let's see. Is that a good size? No, we're still a little too tall. So let's see. We have a height here of 145, so let's make our height 135. And let's do that for all 3 of these. So I'm just going to use Shift to select all of them. 135. And we'll set the X to be something nice, like a 20. In fact, we should probably use the X value from this label. So let's find out what that is. 22.8. Okay, so now we've got everything being the same size, lined up in a row with business data. We now just need to get everything to fit nicely. So I'm just going to nudge this stuff around. Present that. I still think this is too high. That looks good to me. All right. So now let's go set up the data. So you're going to get really good at setting up graphs now. So we've got subscription costs by product, manufacturing costs by product, and spending on marketing. So let's start with spending on marketing. Okay, so that is market spending, or I can't remember what I called it. It's in the policy module.
Are you sure nothing is pending?
No, not actual. It's the one before that. It might be. Alright. Let's go look. Marketing spending. Why did I not find that? Yeah, so the actual is so that I could correct for competitors to not spend money on marketing for products that are no longer on sale. Okay, so Nintendo. Great. And so let's set these up with nice labels. So we have the Wii U and the Nintendo Switch. And our title here is Market Spend. Marketed. Okay. And I already saved you a bunch of work because I formatted it all. Alright, so what was the next one here? Manufacturing cost. Green plus. Product manufacturing cost for Nintendo. And let's just do the star here so that we get both. And this is the Switch. And this is the Wii U. Cool, this one isn't formatted, so now we actually get to do work to format stuff. And up here we have subscription costs. I don't remember what that variable is, so let's go look at our model. That's in business, subscription service costs. Yep. Alrighty, so now, let's fix the title for that, and this is subscription costs. Alright, a couple of things we want to do here. One, we want our variables to always show 0 on the graph. So let's just make sure that we do that. And the way that we do that is by selecting the graph. And because these things are sharing a single axis and they are sharing the same scale, if I force one of the variables to keep 0 visible, the scale will automatically adjust for both of them because they share the same scale. So I check off this keep 0 visible. Okay, then next I want to set up my number format here. So I'm going to right click, format. I don't want to do it twice. So I'm going to go back into my model. Which one? Manufacturing costs. Hold on, I'm going to go fix the fonts in this back to not 14. Go back to the 9 that I made this model at. Now I can read. Manufacturing costs. We're going to go to the scales and ranges panel. We're going to say precision is cents, display as currency, scale by nothing, and use the thousand separator. So what's nice about use thousand separator is we do nice with European style formatting versus American style formatting. So for those of you with European styled computers, you will get the numbers you're used to looking at. Something important to remember is that whenever you type in digits, if you've got an American computer, you're going to type it in like an American would, where comma separates thousands, dot separates decimals. But if you're European, you do the reverse, and that's fine. The only place where that doesn't hold true is the equation panel. When you're actually entering in constants in equations, then you got to use American format. And we're actually going to, in I think the next version, give you a choice if you want to do a European-style constant in equations. But you'll then have to, instead of using comma to separate arguments in a function, use semicolon. But again, for nowadays, if you're European, you have to use American-style numbers in equations, but everywhere else, European-style numbers. Okay, so now we've got that graph set up nicely. What were the other things on this page? Subscription profit, sales profit, and spending on R&D. So let's take this graph, copy it and paste it. Let's erase and player hardware R&D spending. So there are flows. I guess, so let me show you what I did with the model here, and then we can figure out together what we want to do. So this is the actual hardware. This is the actual hardware and software R&D spending that happens in the model. This player variable is the value used, typed in by users. The reason why I separated this out is, as I was showing you yesterday, yes, with Stella you can control things which have equations, meaning you can set a constant for something that has an equation and it will ignore the equation and use your constant instead. But it puts this really annoying tilde button there, which nobody but people who we've told that tilde means override the equation know about, so I don't like them unless I absolutely need them. So I purposely pulled the player decision out, because there's a bunch of logic in these equations to put the model into steady state. So this is actually the real value that's being used. This is the value that the user has typed in. I guess we probably want to plot in the interface the real value that's being used. So let's use that instead. So that's hardware, R&D spending. And Nintendo. Okay. Label our legend right. And let's fix our title now. And now we need to do our software. So I copy and paste the graph, scroll on over. Software. And I'm just going to do this like this. I screwed it up. Okay. Now what do we got? Subscription and sales profit. So I'm going to take these two graphs, I'm just going to copy them and get everything to line up. And what did we have? Forgot already. Subscription and sales profit. I forgot what those variables are actually called. So we have subscription profit and product sale profit. And product sale profit. Okay, so now we've got all that set, so let's go get our legends in order. So we have WiiU, Switch, WiiU, Switch, and let's fix our titles. Subscription, let's call it total subscription profit. And let's call it total product sale profit. Let's call this manufacturing unit costs, because this is per unit, and subscription service unit costs, because that's per unit. If we look at this now, we've got a pretty good looking page. We got to just fill in our remaining large chart, which is profit over time. So I'll just grab this chart. And profit, Nintendo. Profit. Let's keep 0 visible. This is the Switch. And this is the Wii U. I didn't quite get the grid right. But I think we look pretty good. Yeah? What do y'all think? All right. What's nice now is we can switch back and forth. And what's really good is you'll notice if you look at this stuff, you can tell, funnily put together interfaces, because this stuff tends to jump around, and it doesn't jump around. When we move the page, everything stays fixed. Cool. Who's ready for product attributes? So I'm going to do exactly what I did last time, which is take this label, take this chart, copy them both, come to product attributes, edit, paste without ever clicking anywhere so that I get stuff in exactly the same positions. And I will rename this label. Okay. And what was on this page? All right. I think, if I remember right, these were our 5 product attributes, our attractiveness factors, and then these were the total attractiveness factors for all 3 companies. So let's use a new kind of chart. Let's remove the stuff out of here. Let's use a bar chart. And what we want to do here is product attractiveness. No. I guess we have a decision to make. So, we could show them each one of these constituent parts, marketing attractiveness factor, hardware attractiveness factor, software attractiveness factor, blah, 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 without including the weights. So we would show them this variable here. Or we could actually show it to them after we've done the weighting. I guess we're kind of keeping this a secret. So this goes back to, information design in our interfaces. This is kind of our secret as game designers. We kind of want, the candidates that we're trying to find within Nintendo to have an implicit understanding of what's more and less important. So in that case, then, we would probably hide this piece here and just show directly from there. But depending upon, how you want to make that decision, is, or are the attribute weights, supposed to be known by the people playing this game? Or should we teach it to them? You would make the decision the other way. I'm going to do it product quality by attribute. I'm going to make sure that this thing is arrayed the way that I remember it being arrayed. So something really helpful when you're dealing with arrayed models in Stella Professional or Stella Architect is when you have what's called a non-apply to all variable. Something where you're specifying an equation for each and every element within the variable. This editor stinks for anything but entering in constants. I mean, I can literally fit 4 characters in here. So what we do is we have this pop-out editor, which makes it really big. And the other benefit of this is if I wanted to set all of these to be the same thing, I could select all 8 of these cells and type in a single value, and all 8 of these things would now share the same equation. I'm not going to do that here because it took me a long time to transpose this array that I built, and I don't want to undo that, but really, really helpful hint. This button here in the non-apply to all equation editor is a lifesaver. Okay, so this is arrayed by, already forgot, by company, product, and then attribute. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to go product attract. What was the name of that variable again? So I don't have to go look.
Product quality.
It was in the policy. Yeah, there it is. All right. So we want Nintendo. We want current, but we want all of the various attractivenesses. And there we go. All right. So as you can tell, the bar chart by default does nice stuff for us where it tries to get these labels so that they could possibly be legible by a human being. It fails, but it tries, so we should give it props. So let's go fix them now. So the legend title for this is going to be hardware. This one is software. This one is desirability. This one is price. And this one is subscription. So now we can see on a scale of 0, in this case to 5, which is most important for our product, and we can right now see that our marketing that we're doing is really, really important. So again, this is where you're going to get into some of the less nicenesses of this model. It's not perfect. Alrighty. So we can kind of size this chart, and as you see, it makes decisions on what to do with these labels based on how big we make it. And let's label this again as current gen product attractiveness. Actually, we should call it WEU. WEU attractiveness factors. So I tend to like graphs that don't have grids in the background. If you're interested in a grid, though, you can add it, and you can specify, a number of grid lines. Here, though, X grid lines is silly. It's the Y ones that would be important. So we could put a nice set of lines behind this so that people can see exactly what's going on. I think for this bar chart, that's probably a little helpful. Okay, so let's, I'm not going to copy and paste this chart. Actually, yes, I will.